Sorry for the little delay here. I sat down about 8 minutes ago and went to hit play, and we're having some audio difficulties. So we've had to work our way through these audio difficulties, and I just think we have them figured out. You won't know, but I'll know after I say goodbye to this and try to upload it to my podcast feed if it doesn't work. But it won't matter for you all because you're watching right here, right now. So we have 2 more days, today and tomorrow, of The Boys in the Boat. And I ain't gonna lie. Man, this book touched my soul. Holy cow. What a freaking incredible read. Highly recommend it. You know what? It's the holiday season. A dippery-doo. A dickory-dock. So I would, if you're looking for a good gift to get someone, I would get them this book because they'll love it. If they put the time in to read it, believe me, they will love it. They'll love it. All right, let's get cranking with. So I'm using a different recording software this morning, so I think we're gonna be fine. Let's do this. You know, if we're not fine, we're not fine. We learn from it. We've had worse. 1, 2, 3, go. Good morning, my friends, and welcome to the Spaniard Show. This is the Spaniard, and this is AMXbooks 637. We have 2 more days, count them, 2 more days of The Boys in the Boat today and tomorrow, and then we'll be wrapping it up a week before Christmas. And if you're looking to get someone a holiday gift this year, right, a Christmas gift, consider getting them The Boys in the Boat. And if you'd like to help to support the show, you can get it by way of my website, charliespaniard.com/reading list. This book touched my soul. It will touch their soul. You got to put in the time. You got to do the work. You got to read the book, but you will reap the benefits. So let's start off today talking about the deep recesses of our minds, right? Go to that place. Go to those deep recesses, the fear, right? When I think of the deep recesses of my mind, I don't necessarily think about fighting. I think of, we were wrestling Penn State. We were at Lock Haven. There was Thomas Fieldhouse was full. It was full, packed to the gills. We were wrestling Penn State. I was wrestling James Woodall, who was my high school nemesis, and we were going at it, and it was ba ba ba, high flying, high flying, high flying. I looked out, I saw everyone, I thought this is great, boom, and then I hit a wall. And then I got tired. And then it was like, oh my gosh. So whenever we talk about the deep recesses of our mind, that's where I go, that lonely, lonely place in the center of the mat or in the center of the octagon. But TG, I never got dead butt tired in the middle of an octagon. Wrestling Penn State, feeling that, oh man, this guy's coming at me. He's not going to stop. That's the deep recesses of your mind, that lonely, lonely place. If you take cold showers, if you get into ice cold water, that deep, lonely place that ice cold water takes you to. If you listen to AMX Kids, on AMX Kids 24, you heard me talk about the book Mikey and the Dragons by Jocko Willink. Jocko wrote Extreme Ownership, The Dichotomy of Leadership. He also wrote a handful of kids' books. Mikey and the Dragons is one of those. It talks about this idea of fear being bigger in our minds than it is on the outside. And I was at the gym this morning, and I was thinking about just the deep recesses of my mind, come to think of it. I was in the deep recesses of my mind, and I thought, how do you convey most to someone the way, right? How to get it done, how to overcome that fear, how to overcome the barriers in the deep recess of the mind. And it comes down to, I truly believe, it comes down to actions, but before those actions, it's a mindset and it's principles by which you live. Some will, some won't. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. The idea of the success principles. Act as if. Those success principles. Same deal here. We're talking about this fear being bigger than it really is and just taking that first step toward it. Now, we're talking about the Boys in the Boat. We're talking about Joe Rance. We're talking about the 1936 Olympic gold medal rowing team, 8-man rowing. So heading into the Olympics, remember, this whole team shouldn't be here. This whole team essentially came out of nowhere. This whole team is shocking the world. It has shocked the country, is about to shock the world. They're putting everyone on notice of here we come. But they're still humans, and they still know in the deep recesses of their mind, I don't know if I belong here. So Joe Rance, who is at the center of this book, says this, or it says about Joe, quote, he was doubting himself, right? He was doubting himself going into the Olympic Games. Quote, what Joe didn't yet know, what he wouldn't in fact fully realize until much later, when he and the other boys were becoming old men, was that everybody felt exactly the same that summer. Every one of them simply believed he was lucky enough to be rowing in the boat, that he didn't really measure up to the obvious greatness of the other boys. Have you ever sat there and thought them, they. I was a fighter. I was a wrestler. That guy across the mat, that guy across the cage. And if you allow yourself to go into those deep recesses of your mind and imagine these things that simply aren't true, or if they are true, it doesn't matter because you got to do your job. It's learning to filter. Remember, it's not about erasing that fear. It's about filtering and compartmentalizing that fear. So there's two things I want you to take away from that little segment there. The first one is that fear and doubt is often unfounded. Whenever you're in a fist fight, okay, whenever I would grab a hold of someone, you feel it. You feel it right then and there. And the fears that you had before, it becomes reality. And that fear is pushed to the side and action takes over. It's often unfounded success principle of leaning into it, right? We lean into those fears. We do the work, we prepare, and then we lean into those fears. Second one is gratitude and perspective. Even Drago, even Ivan Drago is human. These boys in the boat are human. Their opponents are human. Drago's human. I'm human. You're human. We're all human, my friends. Those two things. Moving on to adversity. It's a sweet adversity, right? The sweet smell of adversity. Why is it sweet? Because it gives us freaking something to fight. It gives us something to get after. It gives us a reason to get up in the morning. It gives us a reason to go to the gym. It gives us a reason to read a book. It gives us a reason to self-reflect and figure out what exactly we think, how we're going to overcome this thing. So Don Hume was one of the key rowers in the boat, the key rower. I want to say the stroke position, but I could be wrong. So over in Berlin, he was sick. He lost 14 pounds. Okay, so one of their best rowers got sick, lost 14 pounds. They got hosed in the lane assignments. Over in Germany, there was a new miraculous rule, and this does happen. This is real life, and I've heard from Olympic wrestlers the same idea, that these rules come out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, they were hosed. They were put in the worst lane. Their potential enemies, that they were put in the best lanes, so they were getting hosed. And Coach Ulbrichtson wanted to replace Don Hume, saying he's sick, he's ill, we can't do this, we're going to bring the alternate in, he's going to row, Hume is going to sit on the side. And these guys, this is about loyalty. I got chills running up and down my spine right now because this idea of loyalty and teamwork and togetherness and community and connection, what AMXbooks, AMX, a Spaniard Show represents, bringing it to you by way of these books. The boys got together and they said this to Coach. The more they talked, the more the certain they were. It just wasn't right. Hume had to be there with them, come what may. They weren't just 9 guys in the boat. They were a crew. So they changed the coach's mind. And I couldn't help but think in my mind and write on my paper, ride together, die together. Bad boys for life. Moving on to the last point of the day. This fear and this doubt in this then turned to belief. This fear and this doubt then turning to belief. Quote, all of them were grim-faced. Good as their boys were, they figured their chances of taking gold were slim to none. Not out in lane 6 with Don Hume looking like a dead man. And literally looking like a dead man, falling over, being semi-unconscious. But they found that this stress eased into calmness. When you try to get yourself up in the morning, it's tough, okay? It's very tough. When you try to go to the gym for yourself, it's very tough. But when you can put other people dependent upon you, when you can create this source of accountability, or you can create this sense of you being connected to something much bigger, much more important than you, than me, it becomes that much more doable. I won't say easy, it becomes that much more doable. But the stress that they were feeling eased into calmness. Quote, if Don Hume had the guts to row this race, they'd agreed. The rest of them just flat out weren't going to let him down. That right there is accountability, putting others before yourself. If not for you, do it for someone else. This has been AMXbooks 637, The Boys in the Boat. I encourage you to please come back tomorrow because we're going to finish this book off, and I'm probably going to cry, but I don't even care because I love it so much. CharlieSpaniard.com/reading list has all these books. If you'd like to help to support the Spaniard Show, you can do so for as little as $1 a month. And the more support we get, the more lifelong learning this world is going to get by going to patreon.com/CharlieSpaniard. See ya. That's it, my friends. That's it. I just love it. I just love it. Boys in the Boat, tremendous book. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get it on my website and help support the show a little bit. And that's it. Tomorrow, tomorrow's a cool one. I mean, they're all cool, actually. And then the book after this one is an awesome book, too. It just is never going to end until I end. That's when it's going to end. Sounds kind of morbid, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to be encouraging that no matter what, to the end, to the end. And then when Adrian says to Rocky, I'm with you no matter what, and he says no matter what, and she says no matter what, I'm here no matter what. As alone or dark or distressed or down you feel, we're here. AMXbooks is here every Monday through Friday. Spaniard Show on iTunes, whatever podcast app, Facebook.com/Charlie Spaniard, YouTube.com/Charlie Spaniard. So you don't got to scroll through my Facebook feed. You can just go to YouTube.com/Charlie Spaniard. It's there. I don't even know. I'm going to keep talking. My daughter's going to get up. I got to go. See you.